Hey everyone, and welcome to the video, and this time it's all about my upcoming music. So I'm gonna have to get down to the very basics of this. So I am currently with a record company entitled as Fwaven Records. You've seen the logo of it on some of the album covers I've done and stuff, so it's come straight from there. So this is where things are going to be relatable to what's been happening lately, and that's what they've told us as artists that us artists have had to do for the next few albums. So from last summer, from summer last year, we were told that we had to do a full-on thing where it was to release a mixtape and two official studio albums under this era. So we had to all release a mixtape and two albums that coincidentally linked with the era that they chose. And they chose to do an AI generative era. So that means that we had to use an AI generation app to create music for the mixtape and two of our mainstream albums. So for that mixed in with the release of my mixtape I did last summer in August on the 15th. And then it also coincided with the release of my album Carbon Copy and Code Pink. So that's what it affected. And the era was obviously, like I said, an AI generation era. And we were told that we was to mess around with an app called Suno AI. And so we did. And with that, August 2024, on the 15th of August 2024, I released my intake of the first experimental input with this little AI thing, which I called the number one foodie, because I was given a food theme. And there was no limit to how many tracks there was to be in this number one foodie thing. We were just told do as many tracks as you want. And some tracks to number one foodie are still going now. I've released a couple for this year, those being Feast of Onion Rings and the newest one, which was the cherry pie and custard one. So that was part of it. And then on top of that, it was the release of two of my personal main albums, those being obviously Carbon Copy, then Code Pink. So those two albums were also affected and added into this AI era. They didn't care if I wanted to add my own personal vocals to it. They said no, it had to be fully AI'd. So Fwaven Records have now dropped that and said that from the third album onwards that we'd release, that it will be all back to our normal, standard, usual vocals and artistry. The whole AI thing would not count from the third album. So starting from the release of my third album, Multiple Dimensions, there will be no more AI. I think only one song at the moment in time in this album is AI'd. Well, that's because it was like pre-produced and I'd wrote it during the whole AI era thing. So only one track, and that will be the very first track of the album, will be AI'd, and the rest of it, from what Fwaven Records has agreed, the rest of the album will be just my own personal vocals. So that is our new music news that's come up lately on the show. Thanks for watching.